So what is a continuing resolution? We are now on the 35th CR, or continuing resolution. Let's educate you first, all of us together, on what a CR is. So a CR, and the primary purpose of a CR, is to try to prevent a government shutdown by keeping the government running at current funding levels until new budget agreements are reached. So here's how it works. It's about a 4-step process. It's usually a short-term funding measure. A CR provides, typically, funding at same or about levels as the previous fiscal year. This allows government operations to continue without any interruption, even though the formal appropriations process has not been completed. The duration of a CR usually lasts from either a couple days to several months, depending on how long Congress needs to finalize the appropriations bills or reach a broader budget agreement. Now, let me pause. We have not gone back to regular established budget order in 35 CRs. It has now been 35 CRs over and over and over again. That phrase, kicking the can down the road, is summarized within the idea of a CR. As the name suggests, it's just a resolution to continue business as usual. No changes, no cuts, no appropriations, just keep things going without interruption. Now, there's the lack of a lot of policy changes as well. In general, a CR only addresses funding and does not include any significant policy changes. Now, sometimes Congress may add anomalies to a CR, which are specific adjustments or exceptions to normal funding rules to address unique circumstances. Now, the impact on government programs, the CR ensures that federal workers can keep on being working, blah, 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 away from a government shutdown. I always laugh at the government shutdown. Why are we afraid of government shutdowns? Because then you can finally divide the federal government into essential and not essential workers. Now, if you watch the Charlie Kirk show carefully, remember, there's always an excuse as to why we can't cut spending. Always. Well, we're too close to an election is typically the excuse. Well, you can't possibly use that excuse right now. You can't possibly say, we are the farthest that you humanly can possibly be from an election. But now it's the excuse that drives me mad. The excuse is, well, it's Christmas time and we need to go home. It's Christmas time. Now, the best possible argument for why you pass a CR, or at least you try to get a clean slate, this is what they're saying, is that we need to make sure the president does not inherit, President Trump, inherit a government shutdown, and that the president can get his initial policy agenda items like immigration passed in the first place. That's not a stupid argument. But what is indefensible, what is just complete rubbish, is the idea that you could not work through Christmas to get a better version of the budget. And so it's everybody's favorite time of the year. The House of Representatives yesterday, House of Representatives rushed a 1,500-page spending bill. Nobody has read and nobody understands. You know, something I really want clarity on is the logistics of this. Who wrote this and who has been writing this? I want to meet that human being. In what office are they housed? I mean, 1,500 pages. I mean, Blake helped with Right-Wing Revolution. I mean, that 1,500 pages is a lot. That's a lot of writing. Who's doing this? Are they using AI? I think they're using Copilot or ChatGPT. Here's the other question. Did ChatGPT write the continuing resolution? The continuing resolution includes $100 billion in disaster relief and FEMA funding. It includes a random revision to laws governing pharmacy benefit managers. Now, maybe it's a good law, maybe it's not, but they're folding a massive spending bill instead of debating all of these things directly. And again, I cannot reiterate this enough. If you are a member of Congress and you are just trying to go home for Christmas while bankrupting future generations with trillions of dollars of unnecessary spending, that is a bad reason. Okay, do a 1-week CR. Do a 1-week CR. Do a 1-week CR and then keep on debating. So that's what CRs were designed in the first place. CRs were always designed to give you an extra week to allow negotiations to keep going. for 2 weeks. The CR includes that the federal government must pay 100% of rebuilding the cost of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which collapsed. Obviously, a ship collided with it in Maryland. The bill gives control of the land containing the RFK Stadium in D.C. back to D.C. itself. Why is that part of emergency spending bill? I don't know. Oh, and also, just to kind of stick the knife in and twist it, this is the one that bothers me the most. It raises Congress's pay to $243,000 a year. It went up from $174,000 a year to $243,000 a year. How many of you right now would love a pay increase of that magnitude? Would love a $70,000 pay increase? That's a big pay increase. $174,000 to $243,000. Chip Roy has called this a crap sandwich. Eric Burleson says it's a dumpster fire. Now, look, I've been very busy at Mar-a-Lago, so I've been following all of these details. Been in and out of stuff in Palm Beach. I don't know how this mess suddenly emerged in the last couple of days. But trust me, even members of Congress are feeling blindsided in some way. And again, I am all on the team. I am team clean slate. The president must have a clean slate so that he is not inheriting Joe Biden's legislative problems. I think that is smart. I think that is justifiable. However, this rush that we are going to force feed another CR is not defensible. So instead, it should have been the following. We're going to do a 1-week continuing resolution or a 2-week continuing resolution, and we're going to negotiate all through over Christmas. We're going to do Christmas in Congress. We're going to order a bunch of pizzas. And as I mentioned last year during that same spending palooza that happened, how many of you in this audience that are nurses, police officers, that are working in urgent care, that are doctors, have worked on Christmas? And yet Congress, it's like an incomprehensible reality that as a U.S. senator or as a member of the House that you must show up and work. But they are increasing their pay by 28% from $174,000 a year to $243,000 a year. So instead, what should have happened is they should have said, we're going to keep negotiating. We're going to cut spending. We're not going to just keep on doing business as usual. And if you miss Christmas, well, the country is more important than that. It just is. But this is just more business as usual, and the taxpayers get hosed.